Hello and welcome back. As always, my name is Leyzar and this is part 2 of the Gul'dan patch review. And when we last left off, I think we were at Hero Zagara. Yes, she got an immense rework and I can't wait to dive in it with you guys. So let's start off. Attack damage has been decreased from 95 to 86, so you got about, what, 10% decrease in attack damage. Nothing too major, nothing that will hurt her too badly, especially considering the other changes. Abilities, Creep Tumor trait, new functionality. Now grants Zagara 20% bonus attack range while on creep. As you can see, no more health regeneration. Health increase from 111 to 150, so the actual tumors will be a bit harder to kill. Nothing too significant, but yeah, it's not gonna die as easy. No longer costs mana, big deal here. Increases the cast range from 0 to 2.5, and you might think this is worthless, but not really. Before, when you wanted to place a tumor on a specific location, you had to be like right there. Okay, for example, in a bush, you'd had to enter a bush. Now you no longer need to do that. You got a little bit of range and you can avoid some nasty ganks. No longer grants additional health regeneration while on creep, which I kind of jumped the gun and I already told you guys, but yeah. Charge cooldown increase from 15 to 20 seconds, so we got a bigger cooldown per charge, but again, I don't think that's that big of a deal. Base creep spread, however, distance increased by 33%. So to start off, the creep tumor has been changed dramatically. I do like it overall. I do like it. Okay, you don't have health regeneration anymore, but you do have that increased range, which in laning should matter a whole lot. Okay, again, you don't have the health regen, but you do have the range. Baneling Barrage Q now fires a single Baneling at a time, 4 charges at the cost of 10 mana per Banelings. Banelings have a 3-second charge cooldown. So how does it work now? I don't know if you guys been on the PTR or not, but pretty much how Sylvanas' Withering Fire works. I mean, you can press the key, okay, press key, fire one, press key, fire one, or you can keep the key pressed down and you can unload as fast as possible. In the meantime, you can also keep on aiming with your mouse. Okay, so if the target moves, which theoretically it should, at least theoretically, okay, you can alter your aim for the incoming Banelings, which is a good thing. Damage per Baneling increased from 75 to 91, they hurt a little bit more. Banelings, however, no longer have health and can no longer be targeted. Now this has a couple of implications. First of all, you can no longer use Banelings to block certain abilities. For example, I don't know, a Stitch's Hook, or you can't use Banelings anymore. You know how you used to fire Banelings at towers and it would not only, you know, if it reached the tower fine and did some damage, but at least it would have drained some ammo from the tower. No longer the case, but the upside would be that they can no longer be destroyed either. So it's a give and take kind of situation. Overall, I do like it. I like the fact that they did a full rework on Zagara simply because she was the same for so long and it was pretty much one way to play her for the most part. Okay, Hunter Killer W damage decrease from 89 to 68. Now this is a huge nerf to the damage of Hunter Killer and it will hurt her laning phase quite significantly. But again, we got the range, so theoretically we got more safe poke with Zagara now, and considering the Baneling changes, a bit more precise poke as well. Devouring Maw R no longer deal damage on impact. Bam, bam, bam. Okay, this is a big deal. This is definitely a big deal. However, the damage per second increased from 43 to 80. Cooldown reduced from 120 seconds to 100. Never felt like Maw deserved 120 seconds anyway, simply because it's got a delay and you can step out of it as long as you see it from the start. Make no mistake, this means a lot lower damage on Maw, but it still has the same grueling impact in team fights. So for team fights, Zagara, definitely go for Devouring Maw. Nidus Network R, new functionality, passively increases your creep spread by 25%. So if you go for this one, your creep will spread even further. Passively causes all basic attacks to lower cooldowns by 1 second while on creep. So basically they built in a form of battle momentum into Nidus Network, which again is a big deal. They really want us to play with this one. Having cooldown decreased by this amount, 1 second per attack, is a big deal from my point of view. Nidus canals can now only be placed on creep. Now this will kill, you know, the Abby Zaggy backdoor thingy, okay? Abby would just put a tumor, okay? So Zagara has vision and then Zagara would place her Nidus and you would go behind and then clone into Zagara's this. You know that? Okay, I showcased it in a video. That is gone now, at least at level 10. Entering Nidus canals is now cancelable by taking damage, so you can no longer escape by jumping into a Nidus. Okay, if you get damage, your channel will get interrupted, so no more escaping into Nidus. The channel time to enter Nidus canal decrease, however, from 2 to 1.5 seconds. 1.5 seconds theoretically should be more than enough time for you to interrupt Zagara. Health regeneration while in the network increase from 8 to 10%, whatever. Even more sustained with Nidus play. Mana regeneration while in the network increased as well from 8 to 10. Max amount of Nidus canals on the map increased from 4 to 10. Now, it's not the first time I'm reading this, and this sounds awfully broken to me. 10 Nidus? You can make a wall of Nidus for whatever reason. The wall off whatever you want to wall off. 10 Nidus. What would be the need for 10 Nidus anyway? I don't know, this sounds awfully weird. I just don't see any possibility for this not to be broken or abused. Maybe we can spell out letters in the map with the 10 Nidus thingies. Maybe that's what it's for. I don't know. Yeah, this seems a little bit overzealous from my point of view. Talents level 1, Centrifugal Hooks has been removed. If I'm not mistaken, this talent would be the one that increased the range on your Q ability Banelings. Corpse Feeders E, damage reduction from non-heroes decreased from 30 to 40%. Increased, my bad, from 30 to 40%, so you can tank better with your little roachlings. Now reduces the cooldown of Infested Drop by 3 seconds in addition to its current functionality. Nothing too major here. Reconstitution and Demolitionist have both been removed, but they buffed Corpse Feeders, which does help you with tanking South Tower damage, lower cooldown as well. Okay, so you can push like that. Demolition is removed. I never liked Demolitionist to begin with on any hero, so I'm happy to see it gone. Reconstitution, I believe it's obvious why they remove it by now. Level 4, Envenom Spines. It's now an activated ability, and I do believe this is the end of the must-have Envenom Spines at level 4. No longer adds basic attack range. Well, you pretty much got it on creep anyway, because how creep works now. Activate to have your next basic attack deal 230 damage over 5 seconds, 30-second cooldown, so it's basically a sort of like an Envenom for the most part. Kinda meh from my point of view. I don't know if we're actually gonna be playing with this one anymore. It doesn't look all that appealing anymore. Next, Medusa's Blades passive damage increased from 25 to 33. More wave clear. But does Zagara actually need more wave clear? I don't think so. I mean, you don't really need it. Let's see what else we got. Tumor Clutch trait has been removed, and Venom removed because it's basically now in Venom Spines. And Infest passive moved to level 1. New functionality added. Nearby range minions passively deal 200% more damage. Careful, it only applies to the ranged minions. And that's pretty much it, okay? The 3 little archers in the back, those are the guys. They'll get that little infest. Quest, for every 1000 siege damage dealt, increases the damage bonus by 1%. Okay, this can scale a little bit out of control. 1000 siege damage is enough, but obviously if you're gonna play side pusher Zagara, this is clearly the way to go, and you'll just keep on pumping this talent. As far as I can see, there is no actual cap to this one, okay? And 1000 siege damage, it might sound like a lot on paper, but you Zagara players know it is not really that big of a deal. You're gonna get thousands and thousands upon thousands of siege damage, and you're gonna be able to get this bonus to ridiculous numbers by the end of the game, I think. Okay, also what you should know about Infest, it can be toggled on and off. I think it doesn't say here. Yes, it doesn't say here. So why would you want to turn it off? What's the point? Maybe you're ganking from a bush and a creep minion walks by and you have Infest on, and suddenly the range minions become all big and red with a red thing around them. You know what Infest looks like, and then the enemy will know you're nearby. Okay, so you can turn it off if you want to gank or something like that. A new talent, C-rated Spines passive. Quest, every basic attack against an enemy hero increases basic attack damage by 0.3. And there is no cap to this one either. I think this is the new talent at level 4. Okay, this is why I kind of didn't pay any attention to Medusa's Blades or whatever. This is bloody insane, considering the attack range you got, and you'll be able to buff up your attack speed as well. And this will stack indefinitely. Again, it only applies to basic attacks to heroes, but by the end of the game you should be able to pork out insane amount of damage just with your basic attacks alone. And this is only level 4, guys. Big deal, awesome talent. I don't know, the more I read Zagara changes, the more I think she's horribly broken, but I may be wrong. Level 7, Swarm Momentum passive, removed. Volatile Acid moved to level 1, new functionality added, also increases the range of Banelings by 50%. Now I don't really think we're gonna be needing this one, the range on Banelings is pretty okay, I mean you can fire Banelings from theoretically a safe position anyway. Vector Sacs has been removed. Endless Creep also removed, as well as Rapid Incubation. Now this was a sustained talent, it helped you in lane a little bit. But at that specific tier I think we had the better creep spread and all whatnot, which we don't need anymore, obviously. So Rapid Incubation got removed. I know a lot of Zagara players are gonna hate this, but I always saw that bad Zagara players pick up Rapid Incubation. That's just my thoughts on it. Yes, it did give you some sustain, I'll agree to that. New talent, Vicious Acid Q. Banelings also slow target by 25% for 1.5 seconds. Helps a little bit with team fights, not that much. 25% for 1.5 seconds, you might think it's not that big of a deal, but keep in mind you can fire at least 4 in quick succession and keep your target slowed. Kinda meh. Kinda meh for the most part. Moving on to level 13, Mutalisk. Mutalisk has been moved to level 16, no longer has a timed life. Mutalisk will now last until killed. So, yeah. Keep in mind it doesn't do as much damage. Okay, it doesn't do as much damage, but now you gotta do something about it. You gotta kill it unless you are running a bursting composition where you're not just gonna kill, you're just gonna blow up the enemy team before the Mutalisk is gonna be able to get that much damage out. You can stack Mutalisks and wait till the end of the video. I'm gonna show you guys a little bit of something. Yeah, okay, so this is the change that many Zagara players went crazy over, okay? You can't have, however, multiple Mutalisks, you can have only one and it will last until killed. You can't control the Mutalisk. Alright, if it after it kills the target it focuses on, it's gonna go to the nearest lane and not to like a shitty bot. So there you go, very interesting change. You gotta do something about Mutalisk. Now keep in mind it doesn't do that much damage anymore. Groove Spines have been removed. Okay, Groove Spines was a decent choice at level 13. Okay, Mutalisk and Groove Spines were pretty much the most played with. Groove Spines, however, is gone forever. This increased the range and damage of your Hydralisks. Especially when you had 2. This could have been potent. You place 2 of these on a Vala, you would know it she would not know when she got deleted. No, not necessarily a Vala, a Jaina, any low HP squishy. They had either to move away, do something about them, or die. One of the options. Bile Drop Team moved to level 7. One dead, super dead talent and stupid talent for Zagara has been remade into a quest talent. Bonus damage increased from decreased from 100% to 50%. Quest. Every hero hit by infested drop increases this bonus by 10% upon reaching 150 bonus damage, so you need to hit 15 heroes. Increases the impact radius of infested drop by 20%. I played around with this one. The normal range of infested drop pod is not that big. Okay, the actual area on the ground it damages when it lands. With this 20% is not that big either, because again, some 20% out of something small is gonna be something small. It's not that big of a deal. The damage bonus is nice, but it still doesn't do that much. I don't know about this new quest talent. We're gonna have to wait and see, because we don't have that many super ultra options here, but I still don't think we're gonna go with Bile Drop at 7. Keep in mind it's at 7, not at 13. New talent, Hydralis Transfusion W. Zagara is healed for 75% of the primary damage dealt by Hunter Killers or Mutalisk. Okay, if you upgrade to Mutalisk, obviously this talent will carry over as well. This is good for some sustain, okay? By level 13, sustain in lane. I don't know about this one, especially if you got a decent support, which you a decent healing support. Okay, I don't think you're gonna need this talent, but it does give you some sustain in team fights, which can definitely work for you. I like it. Okay, definitely like it. New talent, Protective Coating passive. While on creep, Zagara takes 20% reduced damage from all sources. This is I think this is the way to go at 13. I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but Blizzard is moving into an area where all talents at level 13 for the most part are damage mitigation talents or sustain talents or something like that, okay? Defensive talents, okay? And this is the case with the new Zagara as well. I think this will be the go-to for Zagara, especially now that you're going to be having an easy time to have creep pretty much everywhere. Okay, it spreads a lot, it has more health, it's not gonna be hard for you to have creep everywhere, or you can just place creep on the ground exactly when you're taking damage, okay? For example, you see a Pyroblast coming to you, you pray to God, and you place down right at your feet a creep tumor, and you're gonna take 20% reduced damage. From all sources, keep in mind that one. Yeah, very potent talent at 13. I think this might be the way to go for new Zagara. Level 16 Bailing Massacre has been moved to level 7 and it has new functionality. Keep in mind it will be on the same talent tier as Bile Drop. Zagara gains 2 more charges of Bailings. Now I don't know how much we're gonna play into Bailings, honestly. The new Bailings I like more than the old Bailings. The only problem I have, I can't block stuff with a Bailing if I'm really quick to act and all whatnot, but yeah. Brood Expansion W, new functionality, now reduces the cooldown of Hunter Killer by 6 seconds. So you're gonna be able to spawn Hunter Killers a whole lot more often, and I think it's gonna play really nice off of Mutalisk. Okay, you no longer get double charges of your W, and that's a thing with the new Zagara. Metabolic Boost has been removed, and Stone Skin has been removed as well. This was kind of pointless. On a low HP hero, Stone Skin is based off of the maximum HP a hero has, is 30%. And also Blizzard is moving away from the generic talent scene, so there's that. New talent, Corrosive Saliva. This one is cool. Attacks from Hunter Killers deal an additional 2% of their target maximum health. Notice how Zagara no longer has... did she have Giant Killer before? I think she might have had Giant... I think she had Giant Killer before, I don't remember exactly. But you can get this for your Hunter Killers, okay? 2% of target maximum health. So if the enemy team is running high HP comps, maybe double triple warrior, you might want to go for Corrosive Saliva. Come to think of it, it's gonna be either Corrosive Saliva or Brood Expansion. For the most part, the way I see things. That's 16 for Zagara. Level 20, Brooding Nest and Bolt of the Storm have been removed. Bye-bye extra survivability for Zagara, especially considering you can get interrupted while trying to enter Nidus as well. So keep that one in mind as well. New talent, we got Endless Creep trait. Increases creep 2 more cast range by 2000%. Okay, so this is like 2 free screens. You can pretty much... Now you can backdoor. Kinda. Okay, now you can backdoor kinda in the same way you did with Abby, but you gotta place your little tumor behind the lines, then you spawn your Nidus network. Okay, just keep in mind you will get interrupted if you take damage while entering it, so plan your escape carefully. Creep tumor duration has been increased to 10 minutes. 10 minutes? While on Creep, Zagara gains an additional 20% movement speed. Okay, so from the strongest Zagaras I saw on the PTR, which I came up against and played with, were stutter stepping a whole lot. Okay, I think stutter stepping is gonna be a big deal with Zagara, especially with that specific talent that will give us, yes, this one, C-rated spines. Okay, and you're gonna be able to stack. I still think she's pretty much a big lane bully for the most part, and I think these changes help her a lot in the upcoming meta. We've got the side push meta. Probably we're gonna see a whole lot more play with Nidus network. Okay, I think it's gonna be actually viable now to be most of the time side pusher Zagara. Okay, and just go from Nidus network from lane to lane to lane to lane. Okay, and push as hard as you can. If you're still going for, however, for a more traditional Zagara, you gotta have Devouring Maw for team fights. It's as simple as that. Okay, it's just too powerful in team fights not to have. And that's gonna be it for Zagara. Obviously, I am going to update the build guide for you guys. I am happy Zagara got these changes. She seems a tad broken right now. I need to play her myself a bit more. I didn't play all that much. And obviously, I'm gonna bring you guys a full build guide, but expect balancing on Zagara, okay? Expect in the future weeks to come a little bit of balancing. At least the 10 things. Why do you need 10 Nidus? Why? Well, what's the point on that one? Anyway. Happy Zagara, happy with the Zagara rework. Right, we're gonna move on to Brightwing. Brightwing has kind of came up a little bit in the meta, in the recent meta at least. Soothing Mist heal amount increased from 96 to 120. Okay, so you're gonna heal more through your trait. However, the range of your blink heal has been decreased by 15%. Now this is a big deal. First of all, you're gonna say, well, it doesn't affect this healing, it affects survivability. Okay, and healing. You remember, you saw those clutch blink heals, okay, and save a target and whatnot. It's going to be harder to do that. It's going to be harder for you to escape a tricky situation when you just blink heal to an ally or a minion or something like that and try to get away from the enemy team. Brightwing is, again, very squishy. Didn't really have all that much escape. Polymorph and blink heal away. That's pretty much what you could do. And with this reduced range, I do believe his survivability will take a solid hit. Moving on to level 1, Hyper Shift will no longer reduce the cooldown of phase shift when Brightwing heals herself. Crap. This is pretty much one of the bases for the teleport build. Okay, you know, you teleport in with the vision and the shield and all whatnot. Yeah, this is one of the bases for it because this would help you reduce the cooldown significantly. This again hurts that specific build, which is pretty much quote unquote meta build. Level 7 Dream Shot moved to level 1. I will not lie, I don't remember what the hell this did. Face Shield Z reduces shield duration from 20 to 10 seconds. Okay. And the amount has been reduced as well by... Wow, that's a big reduction. That's a huge reduction in the shield amount and in the duration. Yeah, they're nerfing the teleport belt. Hard. This is a hard nerf to the teleport belt. I guess we're gonna have to play Brightwing a tad differently from now on, or he'll just drop, because I don't see that many buffs. I mean, sure, this got buffed quite significantly, okay? This is about a 30% buff, 25% buff, something like that. But goddamn. Cooldown reduction reduced from 1 to 0.75 seconds for Mystified. Level 20. Continuous Winds also increases the bonus healing of Soothing Mist granted by Emerald Wind from 8% to 15%. We might be playing with Emerald Wind now and just maximize the healing of our passive. Okay, considering the buff it got and considering Emerald Wind gives you 8% and not 20, if you go for the upgrade, you're gonna get 15%. Rewind has been removed. Doesn't really matter for Brightwing. No, it doesn't really matter that much that Rewind got removed. We might be focusing a whole lot more on his passive now. You know, take the level 1 talent, which increases the range for him like that, and just forget about the teleport build, because it took a pounding. It really took a pounding. Yeah, I fear Brightwing may drop from the meta and may not see any more play, but hopefully I'm wrong and we will see some play from Brightwing. Karazim. Inside, new functionality. Now Inside, before we get into it, was one of the most stupidest level 1 talents I have ever seen. It saw no play, it was worthless, you should have never ever picked up Inside. I'm thankful they remade it. Every third basic attack restores 14 mana after this effect triggers 100 times, which shouldn't be that difficult to do. Every third attack will also reduce the cooldown of all basic abilities by 1 second. Yeah, okay, cool. So reducing basic abilities by 1 second after you complete the quest will help you spam more W's, therefore more heals, right? That's kind of the idea of it. It says basic abilities. If this was all abilities, it would have been something. As it is, I don't think so, simply because I don't know if you know this or not, but Karazim's healing, half of it comes from his trait, from Transcendence at level 1, okay? So I don't really think Insight will be a thing with Karazim. Again, his level 1 trait, healing trait, makes up for about half his total healing done. I don't think so, guys. I don't think so. Uther! Let's see, mana cost has been reduced for both Divine Shield and Divine Storm by approximately 20% each. That's cool. Uther does have some mana issues, up to the point where you're pretty much forced into Conjurer's Pursuit, which is a problem, but not because of these two costs. Anyway. Block and Reach has been removed. I don't mind the removal of both. Block was pretty much useless, and its damage mitigation talents on heroes which have practically no health, okay, are kind of pointless, so it's fine. Reach removed as well. Nobody played with Reach anyway, because again, I'm forced into goddamn Conjurer's Pursuit Bliss at level 1. Level 4, Hammer of the Lightbringer has been moved to level 1, and Amplified Healing has been removed. Didn't really play a lot with Amplified Healing, so that's totally fine. However, this is the kicker, Uther, one of them. New talent, Beacon of Light. Uther heals himself for 30% of all healing done to allied heroes. So this is great, great for actually keeping yourself up as well as Uther. Normally when you cast W, okay, you get the heal as well. But with the Q, the big heal Uther has. We don't have a lot of supporting heroes of the Storm which have big heals. Rhaegar has Ancestral in Q, kinda. Okay, and Uther was the one with the Q which restored a ton of health. That will give you 30% as well. That will help you as well, especially against the AoE team compositions and stuff like that. Okay, it's cool. I definitely like it for level 4 for Uther. This is a cool new talent to have. It might become mandatory, but then again, if you're a good Uther, if you have solid positioning and all whatnot, you're gonna be fine. But again, you're a melee and you have a stun. You kind of gotta get into it, into the middle of it, and you're gonna take some damage. Let's keep that one in mind. You can't hang around in the back line like something like a Brightwing, for example. Level 7, Wave of Light has been moved to level 1. Mana return reduced from 10 to 8 per target hit, and maximum mana returned reduced from 50 to 40. Okay, doesn't seem all that significant though. Holy Fire passive has a new functionality, deal damage per second to nearby enemies. However, auto-attacking an enemy hero increases this damage by 20% for 3 seconds, and it stacks up all the way to 60%. Okay, so basically when you're basic attacking stuff, your Holy Fire will keep on getting stronger, up to 60% extra damage. This means that maybe in a one-on-one, maybe Uther has a small chance of winning, or a decent chance of winning or something like that, maybe against the melee or something like that. Again, you gotta do basic attacks to actually pump up Holy Fire. This might be cool to play around with. Maybe Shockedin Uther will see a comeback. Not that it was ever a thing. Clairvoyance has been removed, and I honestly don't understand why this was useful on Uther. You don't really pick it up all that often. Okay, granted, I think, I don't know, at 7 you had another activated ability which you should have picked up. Isn't this the talent hero Cleanse? Isn't it at 7 Cleanse you gotta pick up Cleanse? From what I remember, if you need it at least. Yeah, I don't understand the removal of Clairvoyance. Level 13, Holy Shock. Cooldown reduction when using Holy Light against enemy increased from 4 to 6 seconds, and it has also a new functionality. After hitting an enemy, the next Holy Light heals for an additional 50%. Now, I did do a couple of builds with the Shockedin Uther. And it wasn't all that viable. It was a little bit fun for a quick match. This helps with that a little bit. Okay, if you want a little bit more aggression from Uther, you can do that. You get a lower cooldown if your mana holds out, and you will also be able to heal a whole lot more on your next heal. 50% additional on Holy Light. Keep in mind that Holy Light is a huge heal. Okay, it's a huge percentage out of a huge amount. It's gonna matter. Nice, I like it. We got also another talent at 13 which has new functionality, Blessed Champion. And this is really amazing. After casting Holy Light, all basic attacks for 5 seconds will heal Uther and all nearby allies for 20% of the amount healed by Holy Light. God damn it, it's on the same talent tree as Holy Shock. If you could have coupled this extra 50% with the basic attacks from Blessed Champion, that would have been so goddamn cool. Maybe probably broken a little bit, but who cares? It would have been cool. Yeah, this is amazing. This is flat out amazing. Okay, 20% per attack for 5 seconds after you cast one of your big Holy Lights. This is a big deal. Maybe couple them with some a speed increase, something like Rainer's W or something like that. Anyway, get some more basic attacks out of Uther quickly. Maybe put Stim Drone on Uther, but that means we have to have double supports. Anyway, I'm getting lost in thought. Moving on to level 16. Love it. This is absolutely awesome, and I'm loving the changes to Uther. Level 16, Gathering Radiance W. Each hero that Holy Radiance passes through increases the healing and damage of your next Holy Radiance by 8% up to a maximum of 80% if you hit everybody. 10. Obviously, you're always gonna get the 8% because Holy Radiance always goes through you, no matter what you do. Okay, so you gotta get extra damage, extra healing. Maybe we can work, considering all the changes we got, maybe we can work on a W build for Uther, a Holy Radiance build. Should prove interesting. Should really prove interesting because, again, this is awesome and it rewards skill play. Love it. Imposing Presence has been removed. Not that it would matter a whole much. Again, when you're this squishy, it's more of a tanking talent. New talent, Righteousness Defense Q. Heroes healed by Holy Light take 50% less damage for 2 seconds. This is a big deal, you know, when you're trying to save a target, fleeing away from a bad situation and all whatnot. You give them the big heal, but if they're crowd controlled, they're slow, they're still probably gonna die. This damage mitigation will matter on your Q ability and might be the way to go at 16. But then again, the fabled piano build, like Blizzard specifies here, is still a thing for Uther. It's called the piano build because you got 4 extra activated abilities, okay, and you gotta pay attention to a whole lot more. Currently, Uther's meta is pretty difficult on the player because, again, you have a whole lot more abilities than any other heroes to use, and you gotta be careful in timing with pretty much each of them. So that build is still a thing. It can still be played. I'm just hoping Uther has more build diversity now. Okay, we have a few more fun ways to play Uther, and overall I am loving, absolutely loving what they did to Uther. Obviously, I'm gonna update the build guide for you guys. Moving on to Arthas, and we are in the warrior section now. Level 4 Frozen Waste mana cost reduction increase from 3 to 4 mana per second. So what? Irrelevant. Rune Tap passive, heal amount increase from 3 to 4% of maximum health, 33% extra on this one. Big buff to sustain for Arthas. Big buff to sustain for Arthas. Maybe they do want to make him a more like a sustained frontliner, which he can and can't be. He can get strict pretty easily up until level 10 anyway, but yeah. Icebound Fortitude active, cooldown has been reduced from 50 to 40 seconds and a cooldown reduction. Okay, they gave Arthas more mitigation and more sustain. Okay, they are actually trying to make him into a viable tank. Arthas did see some play after his rework. Okay, he still is kind of more or less used. This is not a main thing, okay? It's not like you see an ATC and a Joanna. That's normal. He's not that tanky, but I see Blizzard is trying to make him a whole lot more viable, and hopefully we will see the Lich King appearing a whole lot more often. Moving on to Chen abilities, Fortifying Brew can no longer be cancelled by reactivating the hotkey default D. Cho, Upheaval, increases the damage from 50 to 100. Not a whole lot of play with Upheaval. Usually take the hammer for obvious reasons. Okay, it's an interrupt, it's good damage, it's got low cooldown and all whatnot. And you get to have a cool hammer as Cho'Gao, so there you go. Maybe we'll be playing with Upheaval now. It's a big damage increase, but then again, Upheaval itself didn't do that much damage. You picked up Upheaval for the displacement. Okay, for the crowd controlling aspect of it, not necessarily for the damage. Maybe a cooldown reduction would have been better than a damage buff Blizz. Level 1, Surging Dash, increases the speed and range bonus of from 25 to 50%, again a buff to an underused talent. Would be fun to play around with Super Cho'Gals, especially after this one. You know, if for the effect, if not anything else, but I don't think it really changes anything for Mr. Cho. Moving on to Dehaka. This guy. This guy didn't get any changes until launch. I never liked him. Not that he wasn't viable, I just didn't like the design of the hero. Adaptation R. Time before heal activates reduced from 5 to 4 seconds. Adaptation can be a really bitch of an ability simply because the enemy team can outplay you when they see you pop adaptation. They can either burst you down before it pops, or they can just leave you alone. Alright, for the 5 seconds, it's not that long, you know, 4 seconds, ignore the Dehaka, don't do that much damage, so you're not gonna get much of a heal, and there goes your wonderful heroic ability. The shorter cooldown, the shorter activation, means that theoretically you should get more consistent, decent heals out of adaptation, as in not die before the damn thing triggers, but I still think we're going with isolation. Talents level 1, Enduring Swarm, increases spell resistance for 25 to 50. Okay, this is something. This is something against spell damage dealers. Okay, cool. 25% always seemed a tad low. Primal Aggression also increases the duration of Dark Swarm by 0.5 seconds. The problem is both of these are at level 1, and at level 1 we usually pick up the Agility talent, okay? The stacking Agility talent, simply because you do need the extra movement speed on the Dehaka to land your Qs, to get in better positions faster, and so on and so forth. Besides, mobility on a melee is crucial, and always has been. So I still think we're going for the enhanced Agility thing. I forgot what it's called. The level 7 Essence Devourer trait, added quest. Ooh. Every region globe collect increases maximum essence by 1. Okay. Upon reaching 10 region globes, increases the amount of essence gained from region globes from 10 to 15. No. No. I don't think this will be becoming a thing for the Dehaka. It's a little bit relevant. Nobody plays with Essence Devourer, and again, most of the hero changes done in this patch are to underused talent. I don't think this will become a thing for the Dehaka. Level 16, a rapid regeneration heal amount has been increased from 76 to 90. This is the one when you burrowed underground, you would get a little bit of a heal. Late game, it was pretty much worthless because it was very, very small. Helps a little bit with that. Not that much though. Let me just check 1 second what exactly was at level 16. Alright, so at level 16 it was the elongated tongue thing, which increased the range of your Q ability or drag by 20%. Actually, this might be something. It's not that big of a deal, but then again, the increase to drag 20% is not all that big, considering drag, the actual skill shot is small anyway. But again, I don't think it'll change that much for the Dehaka. I would like to see him have some build diversity. If a rework is out of the question, I guess. It's just me with the Dehaka, okay? We have a personal thing. Never mind, ignore me. Level 20, change is survival. Also lowers the cooldown of adaptation by 30 seconds in addition to its current functionality. Its current functionality is that it increases the heal you would get to 125%, so there's that. And the cooldown, 30 seconds cooldown reduction on your heroic ability is a big deal at 20. The problem with it is it's on the same tier with the Apex Predator. Apex Predator being the meta for the Dehaka. This is how you currently play the Dehaka. He goes off side pushing, doing whatever the hell he wants to, and when a team fight breaks out, he can brush Stalker into the middle of a fight. Pretty much how you could play Brightwing for the most part, and how you used to play ATC with Stage Dive once upon a time. So there's that. Decreased cooldown reduction from 30 to 25 seconds for Apex Predator. Nerfing this, so we pick up this. I don't think so. Blizz, Apex Predator will remain for the time being the meta for Dehaka, because again, that's how he is played. As a side pusher, and considering the meta we got upcoming, this will help him even more. So no, I don't think we're gonna be changing our playstyle with Dehaka anytime soon. Leoric, talents level 1, mana first, remove the cap to mana earned from targets hit by skeletal swing. I stutter simply because nobody picked up this. This is a dead talent, it will remain firmly dead. Level 7, Lingering Apparition, increases Wraithwalk duration from 60 to 80. Blizzard seems not to understand that the base duration, okay, of Wraithwalk is more than enough to get you in or out of a bad situation. We will not be picking up Lingering Apparition. Level 13, Drain Momentum, now increases Leoric's movement speed by... Ooh, this is nice. This is cool. I like this. Normally, Drain Momentum would just remove the slow you would get while channeling W. This will give you 10% extra movement speed. I do like this. This might be a thing. This definitely might be a thing for Leoric. Loved it. Level 20, Buried Alive, increases the damage. Whatever. It's irrelevant simply because at 20 you got Spectral Leech. Spectral Leech, too good. Do not ignore Spectral Leech. It is the best option at 20 as far as I'm concerned. Muradin. So yeah, overall not too many changes. I do like Drain Momentum, okay, from all they did. The rest is irrelevant, but this is cool. I like that. Muradin, second wind trait, base heal effect increase from 1.5 to 2% of maximum health per second. Critical health effect increase from 3 to 4% maximum health per second. Why did they buff his trait? Muradin has always been a solid tank. Okay, his win rate took a pounding lately, but I don't think that's because of him. Okay, necessarily more because of the other heroes. Okay, cool. It's a buff to his trait. More sustain, more heal, self-heals for Muradin. Dwarf Toss E no longer grants unstoppable while leaping. You know what that means? No more insane jukes. You know when Zul put his root on you and you just wait for that opportune moment to jump out of it so it gets cancelled out, or even Chromie's rewind. Okay, Chromie puts you back in time for whatever reason. Okay, you just wait until it's a little bit to trigger, and then you jump out and you'll be fine because you have unstoppable. No more, that's gone. Now grants Muradin resistant 25, reduced damage taken for 2 seconds. 2 seconds, okay, after using Dwarf Toss. Cooldown reduced also to 10 seconds, healthy cooldown reduction as well. Dwarf Toss is a very important tool for Muradin. It depends how you want to play him, okay, aggressive or passively, but most Muradins keep Dwarf Toss to escape a bad situation. Jump over all or just jump away and be safe after you took a pounding and the enemy team wasted cooldowns on you. Mana has been reduced, the mana cost as well has been reduced to match the cooldown. This is a big deal from my point of view, and I do believe it encourages a more aggressive use of Dwarf Toss, which I'm all for. Okay, the jumping in part, yes, it's a solid escape, absolutely, but it also can be used to get into position for a solid initiation. You jump into the middle of the enemy team, they're gonna do something to you, okay, out of reflex if not anything else, and you're gonna have that awesome damage mitigation for 2 seconds, 25% less damage. Cool. Talents level 4, third wind trait, base heal effect increase from 2 to 3% of maximum health, and critical heal effect increase from 4 to 6% of maximum health. Obviously they buffed this because they buffed the normal trait and they had to buff third wind as well. Pretty much doesn't make that much of a difference from Muradin as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, this is a big deal. Okay, this is the big deal right here. The changes to Dwarf Toss, again, I do believe it encourages a more aggressive style of play, and you no longer have the guaranteed escape because you don't have the unstoppable anymore. You can get stopped. Very important changes to Muradin, even though it's not a lot of text. Moving on to Sonya, one of the best bruisers in game, and from my humble point of view, still the best bruiser in game. Endless Fury has been removed, nobody cares. Shot of Fury now also passively increases maximum Fury from 100 to 150 in addition to its current functionality. This change also, it's a tad irrelevant. Guys, Warpaint. Level 4, Hurricane, now also reduces the cooldown of Whirlwind by 1 second in addition to its current functionality. Its current functionality, as far as I remember, is that it removes slows and snares, roots. Okay, slows and roots will be removed when you activate your E ability. You also got a lower cooldown on it. Isn't this on the... Oh no, it's on the same tier as Focused Attack, right? Or either Focused Attack or Follow Through, one of the two. No. Nah, never mind this. Level 7, Composite Spear now also increases the Fury gain from Ancient Spear from 40 to 6, and in addition to its current functionality. We don't need additional Fury. As long as you're a decent Sonya, you don't need the additional Fury. Irrelevant. Poison Spear Q, damage increased from 75 to 100% of Ancient Spear's damage. Don't need this one as well, especially it's on 7. I can't remember if 7 it was follow through or focused attack, but it's one of the two, and I'm not giving up either for any of these, and neither should you. Level 13, Mystical Sphere reduces the cooldown reduction for 43 seconds. Cheap tricks, Blaze! Cheap tricks! They're nerfing the talents we're actually using and buffing the other ones in the hope to give the heroes a bit more talent diversity. Kinda cheap, Blaze. Right, so less cooldown reduction, but the thing is, we pick up Mystical Spear not only for the cooldown reduction, but more importantly, you can escape using it, okay? You can spear over a wall, okay, and get out of harm. The gap closer, okay, the guaranteed even if you don't hit anything. This is the big deal about Mystical Spear, not necessarily the cooldown reduction. This will not hurt Sonya that much. Life on Lee. Whirlwind healing bonus increased from 5 to 10%. The tooltip has been clarified to state that this bonus is also tripled against heroes. Nope, nope, give me Mystical Spear. I want to escape that bad situation. Thank you very much. But I do like this, okay? This is cool, more sustained for Sonya, but just keep in mind you can get interrupted. Level 16, Nerves of Steel. Now, if you're not familiar with Nerves of Steel, it's pretty much Stone Skin for Sonya. The only difference is you can use it while whirlwinding, and that's why it's called Nerves of Steel instead of Stone Skin. Cooldown has been increased from 60 to 70 seconds. Another cheap trick. This was one of the most favorite talents for Sonya at 16. Additional damage mitigation, much like Artanis. Sonya gets her tankiness through talents, and this was one of those talents. Ferocious Blows, the Ace Missile and damage bonus has been increased from 40 to 50, and the Fury cost has been increased to match the damage as well. Okay, fine. I don't know what to say, guys. It's a buff to level 16 damage and a nerf to level 16 damage mitigation or sustain, whatever you want to call it. Though sustain is actually healing, but anyway. Yeah, I don't believe, again, these are small nips and tucks here and there. I don't think it will hurt Sonya all that badly. And to be honest, out of all the changes they made up till this point, I'm not seeing one that say, okay, this may be the new thing. I still think we're gonna be playing Sonya pretty much the same way up until this point. Ariat Crater, the level 20 upgrade to the Leap. Now also reduces the cooldown of Leap by 20 seconds in addition to its current functionality. Okay, this may be something. This may be something. I do like this. Then again, I'm giving up the first heroic ability, which is a whole lot more better, okay? Then again, Leap can prove as a absolutely invaluable initiation. Or you can just jump the backline. That's the thing with Leap. You just jump on him. Got a Morales all protected by everybody. Who cares? You're just gonna jump in there, especially with the crater around you. You're gonna knock it out. And maybe make a washing machine with Chen as well. You know the combo area with the barrel? No? You know, you should try it. Anger Management, level 20 upgrade. The increase to stun, slow, root, and polymorph duration reduction has been removed. What? The increase to stun, slow, root, and polymorph duration reduction has been removed. Increases Fury gain bonus from 50 to 100%. The increase in Fury is irrelevant. We don't need anymore. It's fine the way it is. I don't know why they keep increasing this Fury thing. I don't understand the logic between this one. Besides, at level 20, you gotta pick up Hardened Shield for the tankiness on Sonya. Okay? Again, level 20 for Sonya is Hardened Shield. We might be seeing a bit more play with Leap now. Maybe. That's what I take from all of this. A little nerf, okay? It's a nerf to Sonya overall. That's how I choose to see it, as a bit of a nerf. But overall, I don't think it would hurt her too badly. And we're gonna be moving on to Stitchy Weche. Vile Gas trait has a new functionality. When damage Stitches emits a gas cloud that poisons nearby enemies over 3 seconds. No longer leaves Vile Gas on the ground. It's like a little explosion around him. You guys should try it on the PTR. And the cooldown has been reduced from 4 to 3 seconds. Okay, this is a little bit more reliable. The stuff on the ground was kinda Sure, in the middle of a team fight with the ice and slows and all whatnot, it did a little bit of something. It did contribute to Stitch's damage, but I see this one as being a tad more reliable. It also may deter the enemies from attacking you at some point. Hook Q can now target allies heroes by default. This functionality can be toggled on and off through a new helping hand button, default hotkey 1. Yeah, so okay, it used to be a talent at 13 or 16 when your hook would actually was able to hook allies as well. This is in his default kit. Now you can toggle it on and off. And this is very important from one point of view. The troll potential is absolutely huge. There's not that many heroes in HotS that have the possibility to troll their own teammates, and this is very important for the fun element from my point of view, okay? Stitches was one of them. You have this by default now. Obviously, the good part is that the utility it brings, you may save an ally from a bad situation, or you may even engage with a mosh pit or something, okay? You let ATC mosh pit, you hook them into the middle of the enemy team. Try that one, see if it works out. New talent at level 4. Restorative Fumes. Okay, this is brand new. Each time an enemy hero takes damage from vile gas, Stitches heals himself. Each time an enemy hero takes damage from vile gas, Stitches heals for a bit. That's good, especially this is a 3-second cooldown, but it's dependent on Stitches taking damage. Maybe some damage over time effects. Okay, heal down. This will heal him right back up. More sustain for Stitch. Stitch already had tons of sustain. What are you doing, Blizz? He has plenty of sustain. Why you gotta give him more? Vile Cleaver and Mercenary Lord has been removed. Vile Cleaver was the one, I believe, that infected guys with your passive when you struck them with your big cleaver. Mercenary Lord removed. Nobody used Mercenary Lord on Stitches. Level 7, Toxic Gas trait. Radius increase reduced from 50 to 25%. Okay, again, it's a little bit of an explosion around you now. That's why they did this. No longer increases the duration of Vile Gas. Now increases the damage of Vile Gas by a whopping 50%. This looks very, very interesting. More sustain for Stitchy Witch, and overall more damage and more utility. Helping Hand remove, obviously, because it's been worked into his base kit. I do believe Stitches will be a tiny bit more powerful after this patch. Nice. Nice changes to Stitch, and he still remains more or less of a niche pick. He's not really a main thing, and he's not how you guys remember the time in the alpha when Stitches was the best hero in game period. Best damage, best HP, best sustain, best everything. It was Stitches or bust, pretty much. I don't know how many of you guys played since the start of the alpha, but it was a weird time to play. Tyrael, the final hero that got changes. Archangel's Wrath trait, the damage has been increased by a huge amount. This is, God, 25% extra damage for his trait. His trait, if you don't know, he turns into the angel, okay? He had that yellow thingy and he blows up after a couple of seconds and deals a bit of damage. This deals a whole lot more now. Eldraune's Might cooldown has been reduced to 11 seconds from 12. Righteousness cooldown reduced to 10 seconds from 12. Self-shield amount increased by, look at this. Why do you even put this here, Blizz? By 1! By 1! Smite E, cooldown reduced from 7 seconds to 6 seconds, and you might be saying, oh, awesome changes or whatnot, especially with the mana cost reduction, but wait, the kicker is a little bit later. Level 1 Talent's Protection in Death increases the shield duration from 5 to 10 seconds. This is a big deal, and we might be playing, you'll see why, but we might be playing kind of Suicide Tyrael from now on. Might. This is a 50% of max HP for your allies. Okay, 50% of their maximum HP as a shield for 10 seconds. This is huge. This is a huge shield you can give your allies, and as long as everybody's on the same page and they know you're gonna go in suicidal style to do the damage for your trait and give them the shield, then you should be fine. Maybe in blow-up comps. Maybe Tyrael is the new warrior for blow-up comps. Might be wrong. Horadric Reforging has been moved to level 4. Was this the attack speed increase? I don't remember. Purge Evil. Damage increased from 25 to 30%. We're back to 30%. It was 30, then was 25, and now it's back to 30 for whatever reason. There you go, more hero damage for Tyrael. Level 4, Even in Death. Now also increases the damage of Archangel's Wrath by 25% in addition to its current functionality. What is its current functionality? While you're in your even in your Archangel form, okay, when you're in your yellow blow-up form, you can still use your abilities, however they will do no damage. You will do 25% more damage when you explode, and keep in mind the buff, okay? And you will be able to get in position with Eldraune's Might to blow people up. This seems very, very strong for Tyrael, and I do believe it's time we had a meta shift for the Archangel of Justice. Retribution E, new functionality, increases the movement speed of Smite from 25 to 35 and increases the duration from 2 to 3 seconds. Also, the name has been changed to Swift Retribution. Nah, brah, Even in Death. Going for Even in Death. Level 7, Angelic Momentum has been removed. This hurts Tyrael. This was meta for Tyrael. This is the new version of Battle Momentum, and I do believe this is why they reduced the cooldowns, the base cooldowns of his kit, because of this. So yeah, bye-bye Angelic Momentum. Angel's Grace Q increases movement speed bonus from 25 to 30. Nah. Reciprocate increases damage from 151 to 200. Now, I was one of the few fans this talent actually had. In one-on-one, this actually helped you. But then again, it's a clear telemark around you when you explode and deal damage, so enemies knew when to get out of range of you, unless you slow them and keep them in place. So there's that. Zealotry also reduces Righteousness cooldown by 2 seconds in addition to its current functionality. Bonus duration reduced, however, from 100 to 50%. I'm gonna have to see a talent tree to make up my mind on level 7. Level 13, Angelic Might E. The bonus now only applies when hitting heroes with Smite. Increases damage bonus from 25 to 80%. Right, so this one would increase the damage you do by number of heroes hit from basic attacks after using an E ability. Now it will only apply to heroes, so if you theoretically hit, let's say you hit 3, okay, you're gonna get 240% extra basic attack damage on your next basic attack. Angelic Absorption W, the increased heal amount increases heal amount from 46 to 52. Angelic Absorption was never a bad talent from my point of view. I think we used to take Imposing Will, or Tyrael's form of Imposing Will, at 13, if I'm not mistaken. But Angelic Absorption was also a thing, and it's a little bit stronger now. Might be the way to go at 13. Level 16, Blades of Justice. Instead of increasing basic attack damage, now increases attack speed by 50% for 5 seconds. So no more basic attack. I think they're trying to avoid some burst on Tyrael, because theoretically, if you couple the Angelic Might with Blade of Justice, at least the old form of Blade of Justice, you could get some nice burst through a single basic attack. Not anymore though, you're gonna get attack speed now 50% for 5 seconds. There was a basic attack Tyrael build which didn't really work all that well, and I chose not to showcase it to you guys. Salvation W increases shield value from 25% to 45% for each ally hero shielded. Interesting. Again, buffs to underused talents. And finally, level 20, Angel of Justice increases the cooldown reduction from 30 to 40 seconds. Angel of Justice is the upgrade to your Judgment ability. Okay, Judgment is still one of the best hard initiations in game. However, Tyrael's current meta is a whole lot more with Sanctification to counter enemy team wombo combos and all that, and more important, to keep allies safe while they actually allow them to do the damage they can. For example, for a Greymane, okay, allow the Greymane to do the burst damage, destroy people, okay, with Sanctification protecting him for the duration. That's kind of the meta for Tyrael, and also with the utility that Holy Ground brings at level 16, which is why I don't think we're going to be picking up either Blade of Justice or Salvation. Keep in mind that 16 you do have Holy Ground. So that's about it for Tyrael. I don't think we're going to be playing with Angel of Justice. We might be seeing a more suicide Tyrael build, play him heavily into his trait. It's weird that they buffed all these dying talents, okay? Keyword dying. It's not I don't know if it's that good of an idea to actually encourage players to go suicide already more than they do, but this is what I'm thinking. Suicide Tyrael build, considering we have Oriel on the way, okay? Oriel, the Archangel of Hope, okay, we do know that she will have a Resurrect Ally ability. So I'm thinking Allahu Akbar Tyrael build with Oriel, and maybe the Angeris Council can play off of each other like that. Okay, it should prove interesting. It should prove interesting. I don't know, however, if the meta will shift from Holy Ground and Sanctification on Tyrael. We will have to wait and see. Okay, that's it. Oh, finally it's over. So I don't cover bug fixes, and you can stop asking. It's not going to happen. Alright guys, so overall I love the changes to Zagara. I think she might be a tad broken now, so I'm expecting balancing in the weeks to come. A lot of good changes in the patch, a lot of buffs to underused talents. However, most of them, not all, are a tiny bit irrelevant. However, the changes to minions, okay, to healing fountains, to globes, to catapults, may force us into a side push meta, the era of the specialists, how I like to call it. And that's gonna do it for now. Obviously I have a whole lot of build guides to bring you guys, and updated build guides for all the heroes which got significant changes, and that's gonna do it for now. But as always, I am interested in knowing what you guys think. Please let me know in the comment section down below. I do read through the comments. But in the meantime, I'm gonna thank you guys for watching. Like, favorite, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed the content, and I'll see you guys again soon. Bye everybody. Bye. Right. Hello and crap. Oh my god. Oh, brother. I can't do this now. Sorry.